Time Woodsman. In about a month or so, it's going to get a little bit nasty down here on the coast of Maine. So I thought it was time that maybe we did a video on our Ole Time Woodsman Bootgrease. This is a formula that was developed back in the early 1800s during the Civil War period, when the military used this formula for all of the saddlery, leather work, their gloves, their hats, and so forth. It's an all-natural formula. It only has the great stuff in it. It's beeswax, beef tallow, fish oil, and a little bit of pine rosin. There's nothing chemical about it at all. And one of the good things about that is that it preserves as well as waterproofs your boots, hats, or whatever it may be. The other thing that's good is because there's no chemical drying agents in it, there's no chemicals at all, you can actually heat it up on the stove or in the microwave and not worry about having it blow up like a Roman candle. And this makes for really easy application. So what I've done is I've taken an old pair of my boots that have been rode hard and put away wet to show you how easy it is to apply. All you have to do is take an ordinary paintbrush, dip it in the beeswax or the boot grease, and just simply apply it to your boot. Make sure you try to get as much as you can around the seams. Apply it generously. And even if you're going along and you have some hiking boots that've got some cloth, don't worry about it, because the fish oil and the beef tallow and beeswax will penetrate that. And like a lot of boot preservation or boot wax or things that you buy now have chemicals in them, which basically puts a hard shell over the surface. But what it doesn't do for you, it doesn't penetrate into the leather, so after a little bit of wear, it loses its waterproof properties. So after you apply the boot grease, and you'll see that the beeswax is accumulating on the outside, you simply take a hairdryer and start penetrating and heating up the leather. And what that does, as soon as you start heating up the leather, that draws in the fish oil, which in turn brings in the beef tallow, which in turn brings in the beeswax, which in turn brings in a shell of pine rosin. Now, I'm not going to do this whole thing because you don't want to hear me going on for another 2 or 3 minutes while I'm doing this. But when it's done, it looks like this. And as you can see, it's penetrated in, and you can actually put a little bit of a hard buff on that pine rosin, which helps keep the dust and dirt from accumulating like it does on other waxes and so forth. But after it's done, you've got a nice finish, and it's completely unpenetrable I mean, by water, as you can see how it beads up. And even this cloth has a beeswax penetration in it that prevents even that part getting wet. So if you want to have your feet dry and your boots, and your feet will love you for it, this fall, when it starts raining and getting snowy or wet wherever you may be, use some Ole Time Woodsman Bootgrease. Your boots will love you for it. Thank you.